Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's interesting that we're having these markups today because one of the things I've seen from President Trump and the Republicans is really no interest in addressing the affordability crisis that we're facing in this country. And if we really look at, and sometimes, let me step back, sometimes even denying that Trump's tariffs are causing higher prices. But having this hearing, when it comes to AGOA, when it comes to Haiti, you're literally admitting that tariffs cause higher prices. Why? Because what's the point of a preference program? It's to boost economic activity, to increase exports, to promote trade, and lower consumer prices. So inherently, by doing this, you're saying, yeah, tariffs actually increase prices on consumers. But yet, you're not willing to stand up to President Trump's tariffs across the board. And that's what we're saying is a problem, is that if we want to talk about affordability, we should talk about affordability. If we want to do something about lowering prices, we need to do that. But President Trump keeps flip-flopping back and forth if affordability and prices are actually a real thing. You know, he said he was going to lower prices on day one, but he did not do that. He failed. And then President Trump called affordability a Democratic con job. How many of you believe affordability is a con job? Yeah, I don't think so. And just yesterday, when he was on his affordability tour, he literally mocked affordability. He marked affordability. Like, that's what we're dealing with, is a president that honestly doesn't get it, doesn't care, or he just doesn't have a means of addressing this problem. And since President Trump has been in office, things have gotten worse. His high tariffs are have been driving up the cost of living. Higher prices for baby products, higher prices for clothing, higher prices for electronics, higher prices for groceries. Food has increased prices since 2024. You know, Christmas trees, we have fake Christmas trees in the Ways and Means room. Those prices are up. I mean, here's the thing. Do we want to do something to help the American people? Yes, at least Democrats do. But we have to start addressing the issue. You have to push back on a president who doesn't care if his tariffs hurt working people across the country. In blue states and red states and urban areas and rural areas, we got to do something about it. But the Republican majority, what did you prioritize? His one big billionaire bill, or one big beautiful bill, as you call it, that was taking away $1 trillion from Medicaid to give tax breaks to the largest corporations and the richest individuals in this country at expense of the working class. That's what you guys prioritized. You didn't prioritize working people. And then you let the ACA subsidies for the enhanced premium tax credit expire. And those disproportionately hurt Republican states. And why is that? It's because your Republican states didn't expand Medicaid. And because they didn't expand Medicaid, a lot of those people that needed coverage went to the exchanges. So let's talk about affordability. Let's do something about affordability. But you need to stand up against this president. You need to go back to your old values of quote unquote free trade, lowering the cost of living, not just for billionaires and the richest folks in this country, but for working people. This is what we're talking about. So I'm glad we're doing this on AGOA and Haiti, but it's not enough. AGOA represents, 1% of all imported goods. I was writing it down earlier because I was actually stunned about how little. Yes, we're going to have an impact on helping those countries, and we should, but then it's going to be undone by Donald Trump just imposing tariffs without the consent of Congress. That's what we're talking about. So I want the Republicans here to join with Democrats, address affordability, address the high cost of living, because people are getting crushed. With that, I yield back.